The deep hum of the U.S. Defiance engines filled the bridge as Captain Emma Porter stood at the observation window, her eyes fixed on the endless sea of stars. The massive warship, humanity's pride and newest achievement, glided silently through the dark void of unexplored space. Its sleek, dark hull reflected little light, making it appear more like a shadow than a vessel. "Captain, I'm picking up something unusual," called out Communications Officer Lisa Carter, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. "It's a signal, but not like anything we've seen before." Emma turned away from the window, her short blonde hair catching the soft blue light of the bridge displays. "Can you clean it up?" "Working on it, ma'am." Lisa's brow furrowed in concentration as she adjusted various parameters. Suddenly, a haunting sound filled the bridge, a series of pulses and tones that made everyone's skin crawl. First Officer Daniel Wells stepped forward, his usually calm demeanor showing signs of concern. "Captain, this could be a trap. We're the first human ship to venture this far into uncharted space. The Defiant may be advanced, but we don't know what's out there." Emma understood his caution. The Defiant wasn't just any ship. It was humanity's most sophisticated warship, equipped with technology that had surprised even its designers during testing. Some systems seemed to work better than they should, as if the ship had a mind of its own. "Ship's AI, what's your analysis?" Emma called out. A smooth, gender-neutral voice responded from the ship's speakers. "The signal contains patterns consistent with a distress call, Captain. However, the energy signature is unlike anything in my database. Dr. Hayes might want to see this." As if on cue, Dr. Robert Hayes hurried onto the bridge, his tablet displaying streams of data. The AI specialist's eyes widened as he looked at the readings. "Captain, these energy patterns, they're impossibly advanced. The signal is being transmitted through subspace in a way we thought was theoretical." Emma's gut told her this was important. In her 15 years of space service, she'd learned to trust that feeling. Plot a course to the signal's origin. Yellow alert. I want all systems ready, but let's not look too aggressive. The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency. Lieutenant Amanda Foster, a young but skilled weapons officer, brought the defensive systems to standby. The massive ship's engines pulsed stronger as it changed course. As they approached the coordinates, Dr. Hayes made another discovery. "Captain, look at this," he said, projecting a 3D model into the air. "The signal structure, it's similar to some of the base code in our ship's eye. It's like they're speaking the same language." Emma felt a chill run down her spine. The Defiance AI had been a breakthrough, seemingly making intuitive leaps that its programming shouldn't have allowed. Now they were finding signals in deep space that matched its code. "Multiple contacts ahead," called out the sensor officer. 7 unknown vessels. They're still at extreme range." The main screen lit up with tactical data. The unknown ships were arranged in a loose sphere around what appeared to be a small station or satellite, the likely source of the signal. "Captain," the AI interrupted, its voice carrying an unusual note of urgency. "I'm detecting weapons fire. The unknown vessels appear to be attacking the station." Emma straightened her uniform. "Red alert. Lieutenant Foster, bring all defensive systems online. Let's introduce ourselves." The Defiant's powerful engines flared to life, pushing the massive warship toward the conflict. As they drew closer, the attacking ships came into clear view. They were angular, aggressive-looking vessels with glowing red weapon ports. "This is Captain Emma Porter of the U.S. Defiant." Emma broadcast on all frequencies. "Cease your attack immediately." The response was instant, but not what anyone expected. The moment the Defiance message went out, the attacking ships froze in place. Then, as if seeing a ghost, they began to retreat at maximum speed. "They're running," Daniel asked in disbelief. "They didn't even try to fight." Emma shared his confusion, but before she could respond, a new transmission came through. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a humanoid figure with silvery skin, and large dark eyes. After so many cycles, the being said in a voice filled with awe, "The Guardians have returned." The ancient texts spoke true. Humanity would find its way back to the stars. Emma and her crew exchanged confused looks. "I don't understand," she said. "What Guardians?" The alien's expression shifted to something like reverence. "Your ship, its design. You truly don't know what you've built, do you? The Defiant is more than a warship, Captain. It's a warning to the galaxy. The children of the ancient Guardians have finally come home." The bridge of the U.S. Defiant was silent as the crew stared at the silver-skinned alien on their view screen. The being called itself Kex, a member of the Meridian species. Behind it, the small station showed signs of heavy damage from the recent attack. "You must help us," Kex said, its large dark eyes reflecting the station's emergency lights. The Zarkarians grow bolder by the day. They believe themselves to be the rightful rulers of this sector. Captain Emma Porter glanced at her first officer. Daniel Wells nodded slightly. They couldn't ignore a direct plea for help. "Tell us about these attackers," Emma said. Before Kex could answer, Lieutenant Amanda Foster's voice cut through the air. "Captain, the Zarkarian ships are returning. They've brought reinforcements." The main screen split to show 12 warships emerging from light speed. Their red weapon ports glowed brighter than before, and their angular shapes reminded Emma of ancient sea predators from Earth. "They think you were a trick," Kex said quickly, "an illusion we created. The Zarkarians refuse to believe that humanity has returned to the stars." Dr. Robert Hayes spoke up from his station, his eyes fixed on his readings. "Captain, their weapons are charging. But these energy readings are strange. Their technology seems almost primitive compared to ours." Emma straightened in her chair. "Defensive positions. Lieutenant Foster, power up our shields but hold your fire. Let's see what they do." The Zarkarian ships spread out in an attack formation. A harsh voice boomed through the communication system. "Meridian tricksters, your false images cannot fool us. The Guardians are gone, and this sector belongs to the Zarkarian Empire." "This is Captain Porter of the U.S. Defiant," Emma responded firmly. "We are not an illusion. Stand down your weapons and withdraw from this area." The answer came in the form of energy blasts from the Zarkarian ships. The shots hit the Defiant's shields and did almost nothing. The bridge crew watched in amazement as the energy weapons they had feared simply fizzled against their defenses. "Shields holding at 99.9%, reported Lieutenant Foster, surprise clear in her voice. "Their weapons are barely registering." The ship's AI added its analysis. "The Zarkarian weapon systems are using outdated energy conversion methods. Our shields were designed to handle much more advanced attacks." Emma saw an opportunity. "Lieutenant Foster, give them a warning shot. Minimal power, wide beam." A soft blue light pulsed from the Defiant's main weapon array. The beam spread out, touching each Zarkarian ship with just enough force to make their shields flicker. The effect was immediate. Panic broke out in the enemy fleet. "Impossible." The Zarkarian commander's voice shook. "No ship has such power. Unless the legends are true," Kex finished, still watching from the station's feed. "Captain Porter, your ship's design, its power, they match exactly with the ancient records of the Guardian vessels. The Zarkarians know these stories too. That's why they fear you." The enemy ships were already turning away, their engines glowing bright as they prepared to flee. But Emma needed answers. "Hold position," she ordered the Zarkarians. "Explain these legends. What do you know about humanity's connection to these Guardians?" The Zarkarian commander's response was bitter. "We thought them just stories. Tales of a warrior race that once protected the galaxy, who sealed away their power and hid their children among the stars. But that ship, that cursed ship, its design is identical to the images in our oldest temples. We will not stay to face a Guardian vessel, real or not." In a flash of light, the Zarkarian fleet disappeared into light speed, leaving the Defiant alone with the damaged Meridian station. Emma turned to her crew, seeing her own confusion reflected in their faces. "Captain," Dr. Hayes called out softly, "I've been comparing the Meridian station's database with our ship's systems. There are similarities, patterns in our computer code that match their ancient texts. It's as if someone guided our development of this ship." Daniel Wells shook his head in disbelief. "Are we supposed to believe that humanity descended from some ancient race of galactic protectors? That we accidentally built a ship that matches their designs?" "No accident," Keck said, its voice filled with hope. "The knowledge was hidden within your species, waiting to emerge when you were ready. Captain Porter, the galaxy needs the Guardians again. The Zarkarians are just the beginning. Will you help us?" Emma looked around at her crew, then back at the stars beyond the view screen. The Defiant hummed beneath her feet, feeling more alive than ever. Whatever the truth about humanity's past, their future was becoming clear. "Tell us everything you know," she said to Kex. "It's time we learned about our heritage." Chief Science Officer William Nash rubbed his tired eyes as he studied the translated Meridian records. For the past 12 hours, the U.S. Defiant had been docked with the Meridian station, while its crew worked to understand their newfound heritage. The station's vast database held secrets that seemed almost too incredible to believe. "Look at this," William said, gesturing to Dr. Hayes, who sat beside him. On the screen, ancient symbols shifted into English text. "These records talk about a race called the Star Guardians. They protected the galaxy for thousands of years." Lisa Carter, who had been helping with translations, leaned over their shoulders. "The timing matches perfectly. The Guardians disappeared around the same time Earth's first civilizations were beginning." The ship's AI joined the conversation. "I have detected multiple references to ships similar to the Defiant in these records. The design similarities are not coincidental." Captain Emma Porter walked into the science lab, followed by their Meridian host, Kex. The alien's silver skin shimmered under the lab's bright lights. "Tell me you found something concrete," Emma said. "I need more than just legends to report back to Earth Command." William nodded and pulled up a series of images. "These are Guardian warships from their records." He then displayed the Defiant's design next to them. The similarities were striking. The same sweeping lines, the same weapon placements, even the same engine configuration. "That's not all," Dr. Hayes added. "Remember how our eye sometimes performs beyond its programming? Look at this." He showed them lines of ancient Guardian code next to the Defiant's base programming. "They're nearly identical in structure. Somehow, we built our ships using knowledge we didn't know we had." Kex moved closer to the displays, its dark eyes reflecting the scrolling data. The records speak of a final battle. The Guardians faced an enemy from beyond the galaxy's edge. They won, but at a great cost. Rather than leave the galaxy unprotected, they chose to hide their children, humanity, on a distant world. "Earth," Emma said softly. "Yes," Kex confirmed. "They locked away their knowledge in humanity's collective memory, in your very DNA. It would slowly emerge as your species evolved, guiding your development. The Defiant is proof of this plan's success." The ship suddenly hummed louder, its lights pulsing gently. The AI's voice carried an unusual note of excitement. "Captain, I am discovering new pathways in my systems. The Meridian data is acting as a key, unlocking hidden protocols." Dr. Hayes rushed to a console, his fingers flying over the controls. "This is incredible." The ship's true capabilities were hidden beneath layers of coded limiters. As we learn more about our heritage, the Defiant is waking up. "Captain," Daniel Wells' voice came urgently over the intercom. "We're picking up distress calls from 3 different sectors. The Zarkarians are attacking multiple civilian populations." Emma's face hardened. "They're testing us, seeing if we're really what they fear." She turned to Kex. "How many peaceful species are in danger from the Zarkarians?" "Dozens," Kex replied. "They have grown strong while the galaxy remained unprotected. Many have forgotten the old ways, the time when Guardians kept the peace. The Defiance engines began to pulse with a new rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. The AI spoke again, its voice stronger and more confident. "Captain, I am detecting quantum signatures matching Guardian protocols. The ship is ready to fulfill its primary function." "And what function is that?" Emma asked, though somehow she already knew the answer. William read from the translated text. "To protect those who cannot protect themselves. To stand against those who would rule through fear. To be the light in the darkness." He looked up at his captain. "We're not just a warship, Captain. We're a warning to any who would threaten the peace." Emma straightened her uniform and touched her communicator. "All hands, battle stations. Lieutenant Foster, bring all systems online, including the new protocols. Mr. Wells, plot a course to the nearest distress call." As the crew rushed to their posts, Kex watched with visible emotion. The Guardians knew this day would come. They knew their children would return when the galaxy needed them most. The Defiant disconnected from the station, its hull now humming with power that had laid dormant since its construction. As they prepared to jump to light speed, Emma looked at the stars through the lab window. Their ancestors had left them more than just technology. They had left them a purpose. "Send a message to every sector," she ordered Lisa. "Tell them the Guardians have returned. And this time, we're here to stay." The U.S. Defiant dropped out of light speed near a small mining colony. 3 Zarkarian warships were attacking the defenseless settlement. Their red energy beams cut through the colony's weak shields, while civilian ships tried desperately to escape. "Status report," Captain Emma Porter commanded, her voice steady despite the scene before them. Engineer Kevin Morris spoke from his station, where new displays glowed with strange symbols. "Captain, the ship's systems are still evolving. Power levels are 30% higher than our original specifications. The AI is integrating the Guardian protocols faster than we can track them. Multiple civilian ships are damaged," Lieutenant Amanda Foster reported. "The Zarkarians are targeting their engines to prevent escape." Emma's eyes narrowed. "Not on our watch." "Lieutenant Foster, target their weapon systems. Minimal power. We want to disable, not destroy." The Defiant moved forward, its hull now pulsing with a soft blue light. The Zarkarian ships immediately turned their attention to the new threat, firing everything they had. Their weapons splashed harmlessly against the Defiant's shields. "Enemy weapons have no effect," the AI announced. "Captain, I have analyzed their attack patterns. They are using predictable strategies that the Guardian records mark as primitive." Kevin's console suddenly lit up with new information. "Captain, the ship's defense systems are adapting on their own. It's like the Defiant remembers how to fight these battles." Emma watched as strange symbols flashed across her command display. Somehow, she understood them perfectly. "All hands, prepare for combat maneuvers. The ship knows what to do. Let's follow its lead." The Defiant moved with impossible grace for a vessel its size. It slipped between enemy shots like a dancer, each movement perfectly timed. When it fired, its weapon struck with surgical precision, disabling the Zarkarian ship's main weapons without causing catastrophic damage. "This is incredible," Daniel Wells said from his position at navigation. "The ship's movements. It's like it's teaching us how the Guardians used to fight." The battle ended quickly. The Zarkarian ships hung dead in space, their weapons disabled, and their engines barely functioning. Emma opened a channel to their commanders. "This is your only warning," she said firmly. "The Guardians protected this galaxy once. Now humanity has taken up that duty. Spread the word. Attacks on peaceful settlements will not be tolerated." As the damaged Zarkarian ships limped away, the Defiant received a transmission from the mining colony. The colony's leader appeared on screen, a blue-skinned alien with 4 eyes. "Thank you," they said, their voice shaking with emotion. "The legend spoke true. The children of the Guardians have returned." Kevin called out from engineering. "Captain, you need to see this. The battle activated something new in our systems. On the main screen, streams of data appeared, showing the locations of other Guardian facilities hidden throughout the galaxy. Places where ancient technology lay dormant, waiting for humanity to reclaim it. "It's a map," Dr. Robert Hayes said in awe. "The Guardians left us everything we need. Weapons, shields, even whole facilities. They're scattered across the galaxy, hidden until we were ready." Emma studied the map carefully. "And the Zarkarians? What do we know about their forces?" Lisa Carter spoke up from her communications station. "Reports are coming in from multiple sectors. They have at least 50 warships, all following the same pattern, attacking civilian targets, trying to establish control through fear. Just like the enemies the Guardians faced in the past," William Nash added, reviewing the ancient records. "The records show this is how it always starts. One species believing they deserve to rule over all others." The ship's AI joined the conversation. "Captain, I am detecting a significant Zarkarian fleet gathering in Sector 47. Based on their movements, they are preparing for a major offensive." Emma looked around at her crew. In just a few days, they had learned their true heritage and seen their ship transform into something from legend. But more importantly, they had found their purpose. "Send word to Earth Command," she ordered. "Tell them everything we've learned. The galaxy needs protection again, and humanity must answer that call." She touched her command console, and the Defiance engines hummed to life. "Set course for Sector 47. If the Zarkarians want to test us, let's show them exactly what the children of the Guardians can do." The great ship turned gracefully in space, its hull glowing brighter as more Guardian systems came online. As they jumped to light speed, Emma realized that the Defiant wasn't just a warship anymore. It was humanity's declaration to the galaxy. The age of the Guardians had returned. The U.S. Defiant's main conference room was packed with aliens from 12 different species. Security Chief David Cooper watched them from his position near Captain Emma Porter, noting how they all seemed to stare in awe at the ship's gleaming walls. "The Zarkarians have attacked 3 more colonies since we last met," Emma said, standing at the head of the table. "Their fleet grows bigger each day. We need to work together if we want to stop them." A tall bird-like alien named Vix stepped forward. "My people will join you. We remember the old stories of the Guardians. If humanity are their children, you have our trust." "And our ships," added Kex, the Meridian representative. "Though they are not as advanced as the Defiant, we will fight beside you." David moved to the center of the room and activated a holographic display. "We've been studying Guardian combat tactics. With your permission, Captain, I can begin training allied crews in these techniques." The display showed basic formation patterns and defense strategies. The alien representatives leaned forward, their eyes wide as they recognized symbols from their ancient texts. "The Zarkarians think size and numbers will win this war," David explained. "But the Guardians knew better. They won through cooperation and smart tactics, not brute force." Suddenly, the ship's AI interrupted. "Captain, priority alert. The Zarkarian Supreme Commander is broadcasting on all frequencies." Emma nodded. "Put it through." The holographic display changed to show a tall, gray-skinned alien with red eyes and sharp features. Supreme Commander Vexthor's voice filled the room. "This is my only warning to all species," he growled. "The Zarkarian Empire is the rightful ruler of this galaxy. Your so-called Guardian vessel is a trick, a lie. Surrender now, or face destruction." Emma stepped forward, her voice firm. "This is Captain Porter. The Defiant is no trick, Vexthor. We are humanity's first Guardian-class vessel, but we won't be the last. Stand down your forces, or face the consequences." Vexthor's eyes narrowed. "You are one ship. We are a fleet of hundreds. Even with your Guardian technology, you cannot protect everyone." The transmission cut off. Emma turned to the alien representatives. "He's right about one thing. We can't do this alone. Will you stand with us?" One by one, the aliens stepped forward. Each pledged their ships, their crews, and their resources to the cause. David saw hope grow in their eyes as they realized they were no longer alone. Kevin Morris rushed into the conference room. "Captain, the Guardian databases we found. They contain ship designs that these species can use. Blueprints for vessels that can work together with the Defiant." Dr. Hayes followed close behind. "We can upgrade their current ships with compatible Guardian technology. Not as advanced as the Defiant, but strong enough to make a difference." Emma looked at the gathered aliens. "We offer you this technology freely, as the Guardians would have done. Together, we can show the Zarkarians that the galaxy will not bow to tyranny." The next few hours were a blur of activity. David worked with alien crews, teaching them Guardian battle tactics. The Defiant's AI helped coordinate the distribution of technology upgrades. Ships from a dozen worlds formed up around the Defiant, their hulls beginning to glow with the same soft blue light. "Battle fleet assembled, Captain," Dangle Wells reported from the bridge. "All ships report ready for combat training." Emma stood at the center of her bridge, watching the Allied fleet through the view screen. "The Zarkarians think we're alone. They don't understand what the Guardians stood for: unity, protection, and hope." Multiple Zarkarian ships detected at the edge of the sector. Lisa Carter announced, "They're watching us." "Good," Emma said. "Let them watch. Let them see that the galaxy remembers how to stand together." She turned to her crew. "Begin fleet exercises. Show them what a Guardian-led coalition can do." As the Allied ships moved in perfect formation, their crews learning to work as one, David couldn't help but smile. The Zarkarians had wanted to rule through fear, but they had accidentally awakened something much stronger: the spirit of the Guardians, reborn in a united galaxy. The Defiant led its new fleet through the exercises, its Guardian systems teaching and guiding the other ships. Each successful maneuver sent a clear message to the watching Zarkarians. The time of conquest was over. The Guardians were back, and this time they weren't alone. The battle began without warning. 50 Zarkarian warships appeared near a peaceful farming colony. But this time, they found more than just helpless civilians. The U.S. Defiant and its coalition fleet were waiting. "All ships, Battle Formation Delta," Captain Emma Porter commanded. The Allied vessels moved smoothly into position, their crews using their new Guardian training. "Remember, we protect the colony at all costs." Supreme Commander Vex Thor's face appeared on the main screen. "So, the Guardian vessel brings its puppets to die. Your primitive allies cannot help you, Captain Porter." "You're wrong, Vex Thor," Emma replied calmly. "We're not primitive allies. We're the new Guardians." The Defiant's hull began to pulse with intense blue light. Dr. Robert Hayes stared at his readings in amazement. "Captain, the ship's power levels are climbing. Something's happening." Suddenly, the Guardian technology hidden within the Defiant fully awakened. Streams of blue energy flowed from the ship to its allies, connecting them in ways the crew had never seen before. "This is incredible," Kevin Morris called from engineering. "The Defiant is sharing its power with the coalition ships. It's turning them all into a linked Guardian defense network." The Zarkarian fleet opened fire, but instead of hitting individual targets, their weapons met a massive blue energy field that protected the entire coalition fleet. The Defiant was transforming, its hull plates shifting and rearranging into its true Guardian form. "AI status," Emma ordered as her ship changed around her. Final transformation sequence initiated. The AI responded, its voice deeper and more powerful. The Defiant's true form was waiting for this moment, when humans proved they could unite others just as the original Guardians did. Lieutenant Amanda Foster watched in awe as new weapon systems came online. "Captain, we have access to the full Guardian arsenal. The ship, it's teaching me how to use them." The coalition ships began to move as one, their crews working together through the Guardian network. David Cooper coordinated their movements from his security station. "It's like the ships are dancing," he said. "Every move supports the others." Vex Thor's fleet launched their main attack. Thousands of red energy beams filled space, targeting the Coalition ships. But the Defiant's energy field held strong, protecting its allies. "Now," Emma commanded, "show them what United Guardians can do." The Coalition fleet responded as one. Beams of blue energy shot from their ships, precise and powerful. Where the Zarkarians attacked with brute force, the Guardians struck with surgical accuracy. One by one, enemy ships lost their weapons, their engines, their power. "This isn't possible," Vex Thor raged on the screen. "You're just humans. You're just. We're the children of the Guardians." Emma cut him off. "And we're not alone anymore." The Defiant's transformation completed. Its hull now shone with ancient symbols, its weapons pulsed with power that hadn't been seen in the galaxy for thousands of years. The ship had become what it was always meant to be, the first of a new generation of Guardian vessels. Dr. Hayes worked frantically at his station. "Captain, the ship's database is unlocking. I'm seeing designs, blueprints, everything the original Guardians left for us. We can build more ships like the Defiant." "Guardian network at full power," the AI announced. "All Coalition ships are now linked. We are operating at maximum efficiency." Vex Thor's flagship turned to flee, but found itself surrounded by Coalition ships, all glowing with Guardian energy. Emma opened a channel to the entire Zarkarian fleet. "Look around you," she said firmly. "This is what the Guardians stood for: unity, protection, peace. You can be part of this new galaxy, or you can stand against it. Choose wisely." One by one, the Zarkarian ships powered down their weapons. Even Vex Thor, seeing his fleet disabled and his power broken, gave the order to surrender. As the Coalition ships secured their victory, Emma looked at her transformed bridge. The Defiant had changed, but its mission remained the same: to protect, to unite, to guard. Humanity had not only reclaimed its heritage, but had shown they were worthy of it. "Send word to Earth," she ordered Lisa Carter. "Tell them it's time to wake up the rest of the Guardian ships. The galaxy needs its protectors again." The Defiant's blue glow pulsed brighter, as if agreeing with its captain. The age of the Guardians had truly returned, and this time, the whole galaxy would stand together. 6 months after the Great Battle, the U.S. Defiant led a very different galaxy. The ship glided through space, its transformed hull still glowing with the soft blue light of Guardian power. Behind it flew hundreds of vessels from dozens of species, all linked by the same ancient technology. Captain Emma Porter stood on her bridge, watching as construction crews worked on a massive space station ahead. The station's design combined Guardian technology with innovations from all Coalition species. "Guardian Command Station Alpha is ahead of schedule," Daniel Wells reported from his station. "The alien construction teams work incredibly well together." Emma smiled. After the defeat of the Zarkarian fleet, more and more species had joined the Coalition. Even the Zarkarians themselves, under new leadership, were now helping to build rather than destroy. "Captain," Lisa Carter called out. "Message from Earth Command. The first 5 Guardian-class ships have completed their transformation. They're ready to join the fleet." On the main screen, 5 ships appeared from light speed. Each one glowed with the same blue energy as the Defiant, their hulls marked with the ancient symbols of protection. Earth had found more dormant Guardian vessels hidden in their solar system, waiting to be awakened. Dr. Hayes reports the Guardian technology integration is at 100%. The ship's AI announced. All Coalition vessels now share full connectivity through the network. Kevin Morris's voice came through from engineering. "Captain, you should see this. The Defiant systems are showing us something new." Emma made her way to engineering, where Kevin and Dr. Hayes stood before a holographic display. It showed a map of the entire galaxy, with thousands of points of light connected by flowing lines of energy. "It's the original Guardian Defense Network," Dr. Hayes explained excitedly. "They didn't just leave us their technology. They left us their entire infrastructure. We just needed to prove ourselves worthy of reactivating it." And now it's coming back online, Kevin added. Each coalition ship helps power the network. Soon, we'll have protection across every sector. Security Chief David Cooper joined them, carrying a tablet filled with training reports. The new Guardian Academy is ready to accept its first class of cadets. We have applicants from over 50 species. Emma touched the holographic display, and the map zoomed in to show the Guardian command station. Our ancestors knew this day would come, she said softly. They knew humanity would either try to rule the galaxy alone, or united as true guardians. The AI finished. You chose the latter, Captain, just as they hoped you would. Suddenly, William Nash rushed into engineering. Captain, long-range sensors are picking up something massive approaching from beyond the galaxy's edge. Emma hurried back to the bridge, her crew following close behind. On the main screen, a dark shape moved between the stars, larger than anything they had ever seen. Multiple contacts, Amanda Foster reported from her weapons station. Whatever they are, they're not from any known species. The ship's AI spoke up. Warning. Pattern matches historical records. These are the same type of entities the original Guardians faced in their final battle. Emma straightened her uniform and touched her command console. The Defiance power surged in response, ready for action. Send word to the Coalition fleet. All ships to battle stations. The Coalition responded immediately. Hundreds of ships moved into formation around the Defiant, their crews linked through the Guardian network. Each vessel glowed with ancient power, ready to face whatever threat approached. The original Guardians faced this threat alone. Emma broadcast to the fleet. But we are not alone. We face it together, as one galaxy, united in purpose. The massive shapes drew closer, but Emma felt no fear. Around her, the Coalition fleet pulsed with Guardian energy. Behind them, the new command station stood ready. And across the galaxy, the ancient defense network hummed back to life, protecting all species equally. This is what humanity was meant to be, Emma said to her crew. Not conquerors, not rulers, but protectors. We are the children of the Guardians, and we will not fail. The Defiant's hull brightened, its Guardian powers at full strength. As the unknown threat approached, Emma gave the order that would echo across the galaxy. All ships, advance. Show them what the new Guardians can do. The Coalition fleet moved forward as one, their blue light pushing back the darkness between the stars. Humanity had found its true purpose, not in domination, but in protection. The legacy of the Guardians lived on, stronger than ever before, in the united will of a galaxy it would never again face threats alone.